Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current and latest news. If you do consider drop your likes, and if you do consider subscribe to the channel, as always some more current transfer rumours as updated in the process today. I'm now going to be officially updating you on as well. So first topic of the development is in relation to Harry Maguire, of course, as I've been keeping you up to date on a regular basis in relation to Harry Maguire as well. So now reports are coming out according to the media that reportedly Leicester have upped their asking price for Harry Maguire reportedly. So reports are reportedly saying that they've upped their asking price. Reportedly, Manchester United have been told we have to break our transfer record if we can get the pursuit of Harry Maguire this summer. Obviously, initially I think Leicester rated him at around £75 million or something like that, but reportedly now Leicester are demanding that they want around £90 million for Harry Maguire this summer, of course, as well. And obviously, it was a target for Manchester United last summer, of course, because obviously we want to address our defensive deficiencies. But obviously, recent reports have suggested, in relation to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as most recent, that reportedly he's not too interested in buying any defenders this summer. He's focusing on more attacking additions to the squad, and I think Solskjaer's priority is to recommend the right winner to come to Manchester United this summer, of course, as well. So reports have said Harry Maguire has been mentioned again. Reportedly, Leicester want around £90 million for the player, even though Solskjaer did say in the media the other day he's actually urged Manchester United, the board, and Ed Woodward, to go all out to sign Harry Maguire this summer, of course, because he is English. He's just recently, not too long ago, turned 26 years of age as well, and he's got a lot of years ahead of him, to be quite honest with you as well. And if we had to get a new centre back this summer, this could obviously see Eric Bailly leave, of course, as well, because obviously Eric Bailly has been in and out of the team this season for Manchester United, of course, as well. Even though I still highly rate him because he's got great potential as Eric Bailly, but he's been in and out of the team this season, of course, because we know obviously Solskjaer's obviously been going with Chris Smalling and Victor Lindelof as a centre back partnership, of course, as well. And Smalling's been in this is his ninth season now at Manchester United. He's made over 300 appearances in all competitions. Of course, he's won everything here domestically as well. I don't really highly rate him anymore, but since he's recovered from injury, I think his performances have been very, very good indeed. Chris Smalls, I think him and Lindelof have been blending in, fantastically well together. As I said, and Lindelof's performances this season have really, really improved indeed, because he's showing that determination. He can play out from the back. His passing's improved, and his distribution's really improved as well as Victor Lindelof. So we need an experienced centre back, and we need a world class centre back, because we haven't had one since we had the likes of Vidic and Ferdinand, of course, as well. And we've looked at quite a host of defenders, to be quite honest with you. Obviously, the priorities, obviously, Napoli's Koulibaly as well. Napoli's Koulibaly, but obviously we've got other alterations as well. If we don't get Koulibaly this summer, but there's been a lot of talks going on in the last couple of days, at least, about Harry Maguire, and now reportedly Leicester want around £90 million for the player, of course, as well. So reports have been saying that Manchester United we've got to break our transfer record, to get Harry Maguire, because obviously our most expensive signing at the moment is obviously Paul Pogba, who we paid £89 million for back in 2016 as well. So Manchester United are willing to pay this £90 million, that Leicester want this summer, for Harry Maguire as well, because he has been at Leicester a couple of years now, as we all know, and I think he's actually open to the move. Is Harry Maguire, to be quite honest with you, from Leicester, he's open to the move, because obviously he was discussing about a while back, his ambitions, of playing in Champions League football and all that, and playing to the highest level. And obviously he's not going to do this with Leicester City, to be quite honest. I think he wants to go to a team that's capable of, winning trophies, capable of being up there, challenging of course, indeed. So he probably wants to go to a bigger club, does Harry Maguire, of course, as well. He signed a new deal last season with Leicester as well. So I think he's under contract with Leicester till 2023. But financially, Leicester will make a huge profit on the player, because Leicester paid around £17 million for Harry Maguire as well. And obviously the other clubs he's been at Hull City, as we all know. He actually began his career with Sheffield United as well. But I think Solskjaer is keen on Manchester United. He wants Manchester United to go for Harry Maguire this summer as well. But obviously last summer we linked with him, but obviously Leicester were reluctant to offload him, of course. And I've watched him a few times this season, and his performances have been very, very impressive indeed. But we need a centre back, and we do need someone that can go alongside Lindelof, to be quite honest, because I've been impressed with Lindelof, but we need someone to go alongside him. I think Harry Maguire complement him fantastically well, as I currently am said to. Reportedly now Man United have been told we've got to break our transfer record if we've got any chances of signing Harry Maguire this summer, of course, as well. And we have got the financial power to meet his valuation, of course. Obviously we're going to get around £200 million to spend in the summer. It's looking likely Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to get the job full time on a full time basis, of course, as well. So he's obviously already been in regular negotiations with Ed Woodward, obviously making plans for the summer. What players should come in and what players should go and all that as well. So he has been in regular contact with Ed Woodward as well as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But he's obviously obviously been discussing, the club's summer transfer plans as well, because obviously we've got a board that can invest, who Solskjaer wants to bring to Manchester United this summer, and obviously hopefully, elevate us to that high level and get us back to being a competitive elite level football club, of course. Well, so hopefully we can be challenging next season for the league, but we do need to recommend, we need to get the right players to Manchester United this summer, of course. Well, I think Solskjaer said before, he wants around 4 signings this summer, or something like that as well, and he actually has said as well, Solskjaer, that he's told Manchester United, to get rid of 3 players as well, and yeah, so there's been news coming out about Harry Maguire. Another name just recently been mentioned in the press today, as I've just realised, and this is quite a shock, to be quite honest with you. He's called Ben Godfrey, whoever you pronounce his name if I'm right. He's a Norwich central defender. I think he can play as a midfielder and he can play as a defender as well. He's only 21 years of age as well, but reportedly Manchester United have instructed scouts, to keep a close eye out on this Ben Godfrey. He plays for Norwich and reportedly he's been in fantastic form this season in the Championship with Norwich as well, reportedly. Since he broke into the first team, reportedly he's been in really, really good form as well as Ben Godfrey. I think he signed a new deal, was it last year, or something like that. Don't really know much about the play, but reportedly it said Manchester United have been interested in him, and he's a really, really cheap option, to be quite honest. I think he's only rated at around £10 million, is Ben Godfrey, something like that. Of course, he is English as well, and he's only very, very young. He's only 21 years of age, but reportedly he's been in good form for Norwich since he's broke into the first team, reportedly as well. I think he actually began his career with York City, was it, or something like that, this Ben Godfrey as well, but he's only rated at £10 million, so he is a very, very cheap alternative, compared to how much Koulibaly will cost us, or Harry Maguire now will cost us, and all that. So he's a very, very cheap alternative, is this Ben Godfrey. So his name has also been mentioned just now in the media. His name's just been mentioned in the media as well. This Ben Godfrey, he's a Norwich City player. He's only 21 years of age, so I don't really know much about him, to be quite honest, but reportedly Manchester United have showed an interest in him. Man United scouts have been watching him, and reportedly they've been impressed with his performances as well, but only £10 million, that's very, very cheap indeed. But we know the news that's been coming out yesterday and today is obviously our major target, is obviously, Koulibaly as well. Reports have been coming out from Italy in relation to Koulibaly, saying that Man United have obviously, have identified him as our top priority. Other teams have been interested in Koulibaly as well. It's also said Real Madrid have been interested in him, Barcelona have been interested in him. I think it also said that Chelsea have monitored an interest in him as well. But obviously, Manchester United have been linked to him for the past 2 transfer windows, of course, as we all currently know. Back in January, Manchester United were held negotiations. Napoli were reluctant to sell him. Manchester United back in January had 3 bids turned down for Koulibaly, of course, and he's only, 27 years of age, so he has still got a lot of years ahead of him, to quite honest with you. Obviously, never played in English football, so he's never experienced the Premier League, and it would be great for him to experience the Premier League, to be quite honest. He's still under contract with Napoli till 2023, of course, as well, and he'd address our defensive deficiencies, fantastically well if he could come in. Him and Lindelof, would be a fantastic centre-back partnership, indeed. But as I updated you on my earlier video today, reports have been coming out saying that reportedly Napoli, Manchester United have basically been told that Napoli want around 130 or is it 150 million pounds or something like that of Koulibaly as well. So obviously, if we are to get him, obviously that's going to make him our most expensive signing, of course. Probably, as it did say, if we do pay 150 million pounds for him in the summer, obviously in the process this is going to make him the 3rd most expensive footballer in history, of course, as well. And obviously it will make him the most expensive defender in world football as well. If we are to come to an agreement, to get him. So I think it's between 130 and 150 million. That Manchester United have been told, that we do have to pay. So I think Napoli's asking price is around 130 million or 150 million as well. But obviously, back in January, I think the last bid, Manchester United had turned down was obviously 95 million pounds. So in the process, we had 3 bids, turned down for Koulibaly as well. But I think reportedly Manchester United have got to pay around 130 million or 150 million. But I think Man United, maybe, capable of paying that, to be quite honest, because we have got the financial power, to meet his valuation, of course. Obviously, we know the most expensive defender in world football at the moment is obviously Virgil van Dijk. Liverpool paid 75 million for him. Obviously, he's addressed their defensive deficiencies fantastically well, and he's been at Liverpool just over the year now as Virgil van Dijk. So if we were to come to an agreement and Manchester United had to pay what? What? Manchester United had to pay 150 million in the summer. We will be paying double than what Liverpool, paid for Virgil van Dijk, of course, as well. So reportedly, Metro reported that Napoli are saying they want 150 million, and then Daily Mail saying they want around 130 million as well. But it'd be fantastic. He's 27, as I said. He is tall as well, and he's a great defender. To be quite honest with you as well. He's Koulibaly. Napoli only paid around what £6-7 million from Genk, or something like that as well. So financially, they'd make a lot of money on Koulibaly as well. But we know he's our main priority target, to address our defensive area as well. Our defensive area as well, and there's obviously other targets now at Manchester United have been interested in him as well. We know there has been talks in relation to Toby Alderweireld as well. To be quite honest here, I wouldn't want Toby Alderweireld at Manchester United if I'm going to be quite honest with you, even though he can be a world-class central defender, to be quite honest with you. Obviously he's well Premier League proven, so it is good in that aspect, to be quite honest with you as well. But he's not too long ago, just turned 30 years of age. Toby Alderweireld, of course, he's lost that yard of pace as well as Toby Alderweireld, to be quite honest with you. And obviously we know he's a cheap alternative as well. We know he's going to be available for around £26 million this summer, because obviously Tottenham last year, activated a 12-month extension. Obviously, included a 26 million release clause as well. And I think he's refusing to sign a new contract with Tottenham. Reports coming out saying that Tottenham are resigned to lose Toby Alderweireld this summer, reportedly as well. It did say Manchester United are the favourites, reportedly as well. And obviously we were linked with Alderweireld last summer, but I think he's lost that yard of pace. He is age 30 now, and he's been in the Premier League a number of years, to be quite honest, and he probably would be a good leader in our back line, but he's not to that high level anymore because he's aging up now. He's 30 years of age, of course, he's Toby Alderweireld as well, but I don't think, Tottenham would potentially, want to lose him anywhere. So there has been, there were reports going out about that as well. Obviously, there's been talks going on in relation to Raphael Varane as well, who I do really highly rate. Reports coming out about him quite a few, yesterday and a couple of days before that as well, saying that reportedly Raphael Varane is happy with Real Madrid, but there again, it actually reported saying that he's notified his teammates that he does want to leave Real Madrid this summer, because he's obviously, remained very loyal to Real Madrid as Raphael Varane, as we all currently know. He's been at Real Madrid a number of years now. I think this is his 8th season now in the process, with Real Madrid, of course, and what he's achieved as a player has been absolutely fantastic. He's won a host of honours as a Real Madrid player. I think he's won about 15-16 major honours or something like that. This is his 8th season now. I think he's made over 200 odd appearances in all competitions as Raphael Varane as well, and he's only 25 years of age, and he's got absolutely years and years ahead of him, and he's never experienced the Premier League as I currently said, and he would be fantastic if he came to Manchester United. He reads the game well, he's well composed, he's good in the air, he reads the game, as I said, he shows that ability to play out from the back as well. It's what he's achieved has been absolutely incredible indeed. He has got a release clause in his current deal of around £400 odd million or something like that, and he is under contract with Real Madrid still until 2022 as well as Raphael Varane, of course. And Manchester United have obviously been linked with him. He hasn't been a priority, but we have showed an interest in him as well. But I don't think Zinedine Zidane would want to lose him. But obviously he's just been reappointed, and Zinedine Zidane admires the player of course well, because Zinedine Zidane's French, and obviously Raphael Varane's French, and obviously Raphael Varane was really good in the World Cup of course as well. So there's been reports saying that he's considering leaving Real Madrid this summer. Obviously he spent the majority of his career with Real Madrid, Raphael Varane of course as well. He actually began his career in France with Lens. He'd risen up the youth system, only spent one season in the senior team of course as well. So he would be a fantastic indeed. But obviously the number one defensively is obviously Koulibaly. But as I did say, I think Solskjaer's priority is focusing on attacking additions to the squad. So recent reports did say that Solskjaer had reportedly been given 18 million to buy a new defender this summer, but reportedly it says we were holding off buying a new defender because Solskjaer did basically say he wants to give our current defenders a chance to prove and impress themselves. So basically Solskjaer said he wants to give our current defenders a second chance of course as well. But obviously I think Solskjaer's identified the areas where he does think Manchester United of course need to strengthen up as well. So reportedly Manchester United have reportedly we've got to break our transfer record if we are willing to sign Koulibaly, and if we do get him for 150 million, this will make him the third most expensive player in football history history, of course, as well. Obviously, we're making the most expensive defender in world football, and obviously he's going to be our most expensive signing as well. Or even if it's 130 million pounds, it won't be, he won't be the third most expensive player. If it's for 130 million, but we still know he'll be the most expensive defender in the world, and we still know he'll be our most expensive signing as well. So there has been a lot of reports going on about that in the last couple of days as well, and. Other transfer rumours I've been keeping you up to date on as well is obviously in relation to Jadon Sancho as well, and reports have been coming out saying before that Manchester United I believe we believe that we can land him for around £80 million or something like that as well, and reports have been saying that I think Borussia Dortmund want around £100 million for Jadon Sancho of course as well, because there's been a narrative going on about this for the past 3-4 weeks that Manchester United have been heavily linked with Jadon Sancho, and he's attracted interest from quite a few teams across Europe as well. It's also said PSG have also been interesting, but I think he's keen on making the move to England and coming to Manchester United, of course, as Jadon Sancho as well. And but reports did say, if Manchester United can come to an agreement to get him in the summer, it probably will take a bid in the excess of at least maybe 80-90 million pounds to convince Borussia Dortmund to offload him as well. And as reports were currently mentioning, guys, saying that reportedly Manchester United officials, have met Jadon Sancho's representatives over a 70 million summer transfer as well. That's what's being said in the media as well. And he only broke into England first team last year. He is a really, really good player. So do you think Jadon Sancho is a solution to Manchester United's problems? And I'd say, yeah, I'd love Manchester United, to go get Jadon Sancho this summer, of course, as well. But if we were to get him, obviously this is going to make him the most expensive English footballer ever. And of course, probably will be our most expensive sign as well. But if we get him for 70 million, obviously he's not our most expensive signing, but I think it could still take a 9-figure sum, for Manchester United to land him. Could take up to a 9-figure sum to get him, but he's still under contract with Dortmund till 2022, of course, as Jadon Sancho as well. But he shows that ability to attack team, his performances indeed. Sorry guys, he just went off then. But yeah, as I was saying about Jadon Sancho, yeah, so he did serve a couple of years at Manchester City, as we all know, but he never got into the Manchester City first team. And this is the main reason why he left City and he went to Borussia Dortmund. He began his youth career with Watford as well. But Borussia Dortmund only paid around £8 million for Manchester City a couple of years ago as well. And that's when actually, Manchester United, were linked with Sancho as well. But obviously, of course, as well, he's still got a contract with Dortmund till 2022, as we all know as well. But I think we've identified him as our number one target for the summer. It did say City would receive around 15% of the transfer fee, if we were to come to the agreement to get Sancho this summer as well. Said they receive around 15% of the transfer fee or something like that, because I think City inserted a buyback option or something like that on the player as well. But there has been a lot of talks going on about that as well. We know that Manchester United is still keeping tracks on Joe Felix as well, that Benfica youngster. I've been updating you regularly as well, only 19 years of age of course as well. Yet to make his senior debut for Portugal. Obviously only broke into the Benfica first team last year, but since he's broke into the Benfica first team, reportedly his performances have been very, very good. Again, he's a winger. I think he can play in other positions, but he's mainly a winger, this player as well. But as I did currently say, I think his buyout clause must be around 105 million pounds or something like that. Joe Felix is as well, but mainly a winner of course as well. But a few teams have expressed their interest in Man United, have instructed scouts, to keep a close eye out on the player. Man United scouts have actually, been watching him, regularly as well. Man United, I think, have had some negotiations with Benfica and all that. I think Liverpool have been interested. Chelsea have also been interested in him as well. But he's another player, Manchester United have been interested in as well, Joe Felix. Have been interested in Joe Felix as well. So, what any more transfer rumours to update you on? There's nothing much really more to update you guys on there, to be quite honest with you. That's mainly the transfer rumours to update you on. But as I did say, Solskjaer will get the job as Manchester United manager on a full-time basis, as we all currently know as well, based on his fantastic progression he's done so far, since he's come to the club. And he knows the club inside out, from being a great player for 11 years, as we all know as well. Great player for 11 years under Fergie, scored loads and loads of goals, won loads and loads of trophies. At the moment, he hasn't got a great managerial pedigree, as we all know, and he hasn't really had any, long tenures as manager at the moment. He had a short tenure with Cardiff, had 2 spells with Mould, and he managed the Manchester United reserve team for a couple of years as well. So if he is to get the job on a full-time basis, which is looking likely it will happen, he'll plan for a long tenure as Manchester United manager of course as well. And he hasn't really won any major honours as manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I'm going to have to pay a compensation package of around £7-8 million, to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the job on a full-time basis, because initially we paid £1.8 million at the moment to give him the job temporary, of course, as well. And we know there's still possibly been looking at, Pochettino and all that, and for a long time it's been Ed Woodward's number one, and obviously Manchester United are probably still looking at the possibility of Pochettino, but I think now Man United are cool and they're interested in Pochettino. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's agent set to meet up with Ed Woodward, to negotiate a permanent contract, for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. So we want this announced before the end of the season, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Manchester United manager on a full-time basis, of course, as well. Also, too, very essential, of course, that Manchester United get Champions League for next season as well. So in that aspect, it will, make us have a more competitive summer transfer window as well. So we do want to get in Champions League football for next season, either win, obviously, the Champions League, or obviously, try and get in the top 4 of course, as well. But we've done really, really well considering the amount of injuries Manchester United have had, considering that we didn't invest in the January window. So obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is obviously still in the process of rebuilding this Manchester United team, and obviously, buying them into our history, of course, as well. And it's good that he's got, belief in the young players, which is very, very good. He's got the team to express themselves, and he's got them enjoying playing football again, which is very, very good. And, obviously all them players on that pitch, enjoy playing under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. And I think he's a really, really good tactician, to be quite honest with you. And, he's getting the best out of the players, as we all know, as well. And obviously, want to get back to winning ways after this international break. It's very, very essential indeed, after suffering back-to-back defeats, of course, as well. So our only chance of silverware this season is Champions League. I don't think we'll win the Champions League, to be quite honest with you, but you never know in football, to be quite honest with you. But we definitely know that investment is needed into Manchester United this summer. We're still looking to obviously hire a director of football to come in as well. But the main part of this video I wanted to give you an update on is in relation to Harry Maguire. Reports have been saying that Manchester United have been told we have to break our transfer club record if we've got any chances of signing Harry Maguire. Leicester are reportedly up to asking price, and now they want in the region of about £90 million. Don't know if Man United are willing to pay that much. Man United may probably turn our attentions on going for Koulibaly this summer, of course. Well, even though we know he's going to cost us staggering amounts of money. Reportedly, we've been told that they want around 130 million. The Metro reported saying that they wanted around 150 million. Did Napoli, of course, as well. So it's going to take that a bid in the excess of at least 130 million pounds to convince Napoli to sanction Koulibaly off this summer, of course. Even though recent reports did say he was happy with Napoli, he was fully committed to Napoli and all that as well. And as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was saying, he wants 3 players out of Manchester United this summer. So obviously we know Valencia were mentioned, Marcus Rojo were mentioned, Alexis Sanchez were mentioned as well. Valencia has passed it now. He's 33 years of age, isn't he? He's been here 10 years now at Manchester United. He has made over 300 appearances, and he has been very essential over the years as Antonio Valencia as well. But of course, he's obviously, I think Arsenal are interested, West Ham are interested, so he's set to leave on a free transfer this summer as well, because he comes to an end of his contract at the end of the season, and we didn't trigger that 1-year extension on his contract. Rojo is on his way out of Manchester United as well, as we all know. I think he's going in the summer as well. I think Solskjaer wants Rojo out in the summer. Struggled. He's been inconsistent for Manchester United. Let's be honest, because obviously he hasn't really had the opportunity, because he's suffered a lot of injuries, of course, as Rojo, and he just recently recovered from being out injured for a long time as well. So I think Rojo's on his way out as well. Even Eric Bay, could be out as well, because he's lost his place in the team as well. Not too sure what's been happening with Phil Jones lately, because he hasn't played lately. He's actually not too long ago been ill, Phil Jones, of course, as well. Sanchez is definitely on his way out of Manchester United as well. Obviously, it's going to be hard to find a buy for him this summer. Obviously, considering his substantial wages he's on, which is on obviously over £500,000 a week. And Sanchez, has only been here just over a year, and he's been very, very inconsistent indeed. He hasn't fitted under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's system, and of course, he's been here just over a year, and he's obviously now he's got a knee injury now. He's suffered quite a few injuries as Alexis Sanchez of course as well. And every time he's played, he's looked so restricted. He just looks as though he hasn't been getting that freedom around, Alexis Sanchez, of course. Well, he's nowhere near the player he was at Arsenal. I think he's lost that yard of pace as well, Alexis Sanchez. So I think Manchester United, may have to consider sanctioning him out on loan in the summer, or Sanchez, even may be willing to take a wage cut, so we can sanction him off in the summer, of course, as well. I think Darmian, is on his way out of Manchester United, of course, as well. So I think Darmian's on his way out because he's enjoyed a difficult time as a Manchester United player as well. So he's definitely on his way out, of course, as well. But I wanted to update you on as well, as I said, as I did update you on relation to Harry Maguire, as I've been updating you in the last couple of days. I wanted to update you on Ben Godfrey as well, as I did do earlier on in the video. He's a Norwich central defender. He can actually operate him as a midfielder. Reportedly, since he's broke into the first team with Norwich, reportedly his performances have been very, very impressive indeed. These players. He's only 21 years of age. Reportedly, Manchester United have been interested. Reportedly, he's only rated at around £10 million, so that's very, very cheap indeed. Of course, he is English as well. Just recently being called up, as I did to the England under 20s as well. So reportedly, Manchester United have showed an interest in him as well. But we've got a lot of players who we are interested in defensively, especially as well. And I think Solskjaer, is actually, keen on bringing an attacking midfielder in as well, because I think he's looking to have depth in that midfield, to be quite honest. I think we need a centre defensive midfielder, to be quite honest with you. That's fast and tenacious, of course, as well. We do know that as well. Recent reports have been coming out in relation to Ander Herrera, as we all currently know as well. Recent reports have been saying that, PSG have reportedly expressed an interest in Ander Herrera. Obviously, PSG have probably identified Ander Herrera as a good replacement for Adrian Rabiot, but I think Ander Herrera wants to remain loyal to Manchester United. I think he wants to stay at Manchester United, and he wants to sign a contract extension with Manchester United, even though recent reports did say he was close to joining PSG and all this as well, because he comes to an end of his contract at the end of the season, does Ander Herrera. But I think he wants to stay at Manchester United. We know during his Manchester United tenure, this is what, his fifth season now at Manchester United. He has had rough patches as Ander Herrera, and obviously under Mourinho he was struggling, for game time and all this. And I think he increasingly, become frustrated with this. But since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come in, he's been playing more regularly. He's been fitting in that midfield trio very, very well. He's been breaking up the play very, very well. And as I did say, Ander Herrera does deserve a new contract, based on his fantastic performances. And Manchester United have been in negotiations of getting Ander Herrera, a new contract, to be quite honest with you. It did reportedly say PSG reportedly offered him around £150,000 a week and a 3-year deal reportedly as well. But I think, Ander Herrera wants to stay at Manchester United, of course, as well, because he's been really, really consistent, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come in. He's been playing regular. Obviously, he just recovered from a hamstring injury as well as Ander Herrera. So hopefully, he does stay at Manchester United as well. We do know in relation to Pogba as well. I think he wants to stay at Manchester United, for the time being now. Not too sure about, his future, to be quite honest with you. He's still kind of young, Pogba. He's still got quite a lot of years ahead of him, to be quite honest with you. And we do know he has been one of our most influential players, as Paul Pogba, to be quite honest. But obviously, he's been speaking about, in the last 2 or 3 days, I've been hearing, about, him dreaming, playing under Zinedine Zidane and playing for Real Madrid and all this. And he did classify Real Madrid as a dream club, but I think he insists now he's happy at Manchester United, of course, as well as Paul Pogba. And hopefully somewhere along the line, we can come to the agreement of getting him a new contract. And I hope somewhere along the line, that, Manchester United and his agent can start, negotiations, over getting, Paul Pogba a new contract at Manchester United. But he is still under contract here till 2021, of course, as well. I think he looks much better in more of an attacking position in that number 10 role, because he provides good service to the front men. He plays them delicate passes through and all that, does Paul Pogba as well. And obviously he's our most expensive sign at the moment, who we paid £89 million for. And obviously, there was talks about him going back to Juventus, and he was linked to a move to Barcelona. This is obviously when Jose Mourinho was here at the time. If Mourinho would have still been here now, I think Paul Pogba, definitely, would have left Manchester United. But now under Solskjaer, we've seen the best of Paul Pogba, without a shadow of a doubt. Indeed, he's one of the best midfielders in the world, when he's playing in this kind of vein. His breaks box to box have been very, very good as well. The timing of his runs I've been impressed with as well, indeed. And he was talking about a while back, about going back to Juventus, because he did have 4 great years with Juventus as well, you know, did Paul Pogba, as we all know. But the main part of this video is, you know, guys, I wanted to update you on in relation to Harry Maguire. Reportedly now, Leicester have upped their asking price. We've been told we've got to break our club transfer record, you know, to have any chances signing Harry Maguire. Leicester have said they want £90 million now, reportedly, you know, for Harry Maguire as well. Even though it initially did say it actually did initially say that Manchester United, you know, I think it did say 65 million at one point. It did say Solskjaer has told Edward to go all out, you know, to sign Harry Maguire for around 65 million. But I think now they want around 90 million pounds. Obviously, we are capable of doubling his wages as well, as I forgot to mention. I think we can, you know, offer him in the excess of around £140,000 a week. Leicester, I think, is on about £70,000 a week, or something like that as well. So, as I did say, guys, drop your comments, like, below on the channel, guys. If you do consider subscribing.